You're probably familiar with Norman Rockwell, one of America's most well-known and celebrated artists. You might recognize many Rockwell pieces, such as The Problem We All Live With, New Kids on the Block, and Freedom of Speech. However, you've probably never heard of Rockwell's mentor and inspiration, Joseph Christian Leyendecker. J.C. Leyendecker was one of the most influential illustrators of the 20th century. His art was extremely prevalent throughout American culture at the time, whether it was on a magazine cover or in an advertisement. Among his large collection of work are 322 covers for the Saturday Evening Post, a magazine that Rockwell also famously illustrated for. Leyendecker's stunning magazine covers vastly increased the popularity of the Saturday Evening Post by helping it stand out among other publications. His work was instantly recognizable and drew attention to the magazine. Many of his illustrations for the Post also introduced and popularized parts of American culture that seem so normal to us today. Among these ideas are the tradition of gifting bouquets on Mother's Day, watching football on Thanksgiving, and the portrayal of Santa Claus as having a red suit and white beard. Outside of his work in publication, Leyendecker was also an incredibly influential artist within the world of advertisement. Throughout his career, he illustrated for many companies, including Kellogg's, Caro Syrup, Gillette, and Kuppenheimer Clothing. However, he is most well known for his illustrations for the Arrow collar brand, which skyrocketed into popularity due to his advertisements. For these advertisements, Leyendecker created the character of the Arrow Collar Man, which became the face of the brand and brought in many new customers. The Arrow Collar Man was considered an aspirational figure of masculinity for American men at the time. Leyendecker's creation of the Arrow Collar Man was incredibly innovative in advertising during this period. The Arrow Collar Man portrayed a lifestyle and image that many consumers wanted to emulate. By buying an Arrow collar, they were able to participate in the glamour that the Arrow Collar Man represented. The character was so popular that he was even sent fan mail, including marriage proposals, and had a Broadway play written after him. So, who was the face of the Arrow Collar Man? He consistently shows up in Leyendecker's paintings, in other advertisements, studies, and personal projects. This was Charles Beach, Leyendecker's model, manager, and life partner of many years. Together, these two men created what would be regarded as the aspirational representation of American masculinity. J.C. Leyendecker may not be what many consider a traditional American hero, like George Washington or the figure in this piece labeled football hero. However, Leyendecker's work had a large cultural impact that has continued to influence society today. I believe that Leyendecker's contributions to American culture, which have remained prevalent until this day, improvements in advertising by creating an aspirational figure to represent a brand, popularizing of magazines and companies through his illustration, and inspiration to future artists, including Norman Rockwell, all make Leyendecker an American hero.